Hello everybody. Come on in. Just getting connected here, making sure everything's working. Okay. Not quite. Hey, we're just getting started. So come on in and see, some people are finding me. Yay, we are here. I'm just making sure everything is working online. Say hi. Come on in. I see there. Yay. Come on in, say hi. If this is your first time seeing me, let me know. I am here. I am so happy that you are here with me. And hey, Kathy, hi, how are you? Happy New Year to you too. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for being here. That's fabulous. Lisa, hi. So glad you guys are here. Oh my gosh, this is fabulous. Joanna, hello. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you for coming. I am so excited to give you and nervous to give you this information. I always get a little bit nervous before. Larissa, hi. I see Larissa Bubbles. Hi, Larissa. I always get a little nervous when I bring this information through. I think it's like an excited nervousness. And tonight, especially, it just, oh, this soul revolution was a big topic. So, uh, okay. Well, I was a minute or two late. So sorry for that. Just getting internet set up here so that we don't get interrupted. Please know that sometimes we do get interrupted, and if we do, if it gets like cut out, I will come back on in another, like I'll start another live to come back on and keep going. All right. So, hello to everybody. Welcome to Soul Revolution. This information came through for me as I was sitting and doing my thinking about what's coming for next year. What is the energy for next year? Where are we headed? Because we are co-creators, and that's what the Creation Guild is all about. So my name is Janice Gallant. I am the founder of the Creation Guild, the place where we hone our skills for becoming the artists of our own life, for manifesting in our life, for continuing to grow and evolve and become the best version of ourselves. And as we do that, our life evolves too. So that is my passion. And I am also an artist, as you can see, and a teacher. My artwork behind me is some of the artwork that we have done in some of my programs. So you can see some up there. Um, and some is just mine. There's my buffalo. Love my buffalo. My Black Panther, my wolf. This year, as I'm coming into 2022, wolf is very strongly coming in to walk with me this year. So I'm really excited about that and about what that might mean. But, anyways, so that is who I am. And I bring you programs and we gather together in meditations. It's just a beautiful process. But tonight, this is part of my free masterclass Soul Revolution. And my intention is to bring to you the energy forecast of 2022 of what's come through for me. And I know that there's lots of information out there through astrologists, but I'm just going to let you know what came through for me and how knowing this can help us as we move into 2022. And also, how do we get started in calibrating into an energy that's going to hold all of our desires? So I'm just going to jump right in to the channeling that came through. So first of all, I sat down and I thought soul revolution, that's what came through for me. I'm like, okay, okay, well, first of all, what does that mean? The soul is the spirit part of a human, right? Your spirit, your higher wisdom, your the part of you that we feel is eternal. It's that spiritual element of you, your inner self, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, right? Some people call it their wisdom. And a revolution is actually the actual definition. I looked it up just to make sure. A dramatic and far reaching change, metamorphosis, transformation, innovation, or reorganization. So, in other words, it's like a shake up or a shakedown. Sounds like a lot of energy coming through, right? So then I thought, okay, well, I sat and I allowed the messages to come through. And I know that we've been through a lot in the last several years. I mean, really since 2012, that's when the earth changes really started to accelerate. And 2022, 23, and 24 are projected to be really big, pivotal years of change. And um, that soul revolution is actually happening right now in our world. So I'm going to kind of be reading a little bit because the channelings come through to me as I'm writing, and I haven't even fully embodied what they said to me yet. So once I embody it, then I can just go and speak, and more messages come through. But this one was very different. So um, over this year and the next 2 years, there's going to be more and more people at a rapid pace, not only awakening to become more aware of their soul uh, in their life, but becoming more open to discussions around your heart, your soul, and your human path, the human walk that we are here. It's like a trifecta between your heart, your soul, and the human that we are. It's this beautiful way of living in this trifecta. It's there's going to be a lot less fear around these discussions and much more openness. And there's going to be like a curiosity, and curiosity is really good because when we're in curiosity, we're more open to learning and growing. And we're not judging. We're getting very curious about, well, what's happening? Let me just figure this out, right? So as these discussions between people grow more and more, there's going to be more and more opportunities opening up for you, for all of you, in many different ways, especially in the ways of energy work, working with people, coaching, that sort of thing, creative work, right? So for now, the growth that you feel, sorry, they said that now the growth that you will feel will also be the growth that you feel will also be exponential, especially when you gather together for your work. So in the gatherings of energy, that information came through last year too, is that the gathering was so important. Um, and they said, for it is a significant part of human evolution, and time must be made to sink into your own evolutionary growth. You've already come far on your journey, but it's a journey that continues to evolve in many beautiful ways. You will become very skilled in your manifesting. When you speak, you speak and declare what you are creating, just like when I declared about the teepee and that came through. This will be happening more and more. So we must also say to choose your words carefully as you vision your life into being. Your words are powerful, not to scare you, but to simply bring your awareness to your words and your voice. So now is a powerful time to speak clearly about what you want to create. Think on how you're being called. What are the desires of your heart? As you evolve, the world around you evolves. You are energetically linked to the earth and all those who are walking on the earth at this time. You are the vessel for creative flow. You are the portal that brings the light through. So your evolutionary growth to become your highest potential is what will help the earth heal and change the world you are living in. But it begins with you first. This is the greatest, most powerful message we can bring through for you now. This is where you must begin and continue. Who do you need to become? This is your work for the year. Becoming the one who can hold all your desires, the one who does not waver when things around you get chaotic. Step by step, growing, shaping, molding who you are from the inside out. Excuse me. I think there I I left something out there and I'm almost thinking I have to go back and say it. I'm feeling like I can't go further until I say this. So when I said this is your work for the year, becoming the one who can hold all your desires, this is the program that came through was the art of becoming. And I'll tell you more about that later. But the art of becoming the one who can hold all your dreams, the one who does not waver when things around you get chaotic, right? So you are shaping and molding you. You are not manipulating the world around you. You are shaping and molding you and your energy and becoming the magnet to all your desires. So, walking a path of truth, integrity, and in your awakened heart um, is what is going to be important so that we are walking softly on the earth. We're walking in balance, right? When we do this, when we walk in balance, we balance, we balance our desires with the universal desires, and our ego doesn't come into it at all. Change doesn't come through force. I mean, haven't we learned that already? It comes through a powerful presence, a way of being, an awakening to there being more for you. Manifesting is about becoming from the inside out. This will be more of tomorrow night's discussion, but this absolutely came through very strongly for me in the last half of this year. I've always known that growing and expanding was really important to keep going, but right now I am so sure that that is the path for all of us, right? That is the way we manifest. And the manifesting comes through our heart. And so the more we dive into who we are becoming, the more that we mold and shape ourselves to become our highest potential and keep working on ourselves, the more our world around us changes. So their big message was that in 2022 there is going to be a soul revolution. People around us will be changing rapidly. They will be becoming more awakened. They will be looking around and going, you know what? This isn't syncing with my heart. And I feel like there's more to life than this. And and that is going to open up conversations between people. The energy of when we gather and we have these conversations is powerful. That's the energy of when we gather and we meditate together is is powerful, so much more powerful than when we are just one alone, right? And so one of the biggest things we want to do is to take some time to look over this past year for yourself. Where have you grown? What are your celebrations? Celebrating is so important. It really is important for us to stop and to take the time to feel gratitude for our accomplishments. It's not bragging, it's not boasting. It is about being grateful for how far you've come, for actually sitting down and going, hey, I mean, I've really grown this year. Look at what I've done. Instead, we often look at all the things that didn't happen. We look at the evidence around us that makes us think that we're not there yet, that we failed in some way. And that is not the way you want to build into 2022 and the energies that are growing and opening up for us. So, not only did this message come through about a soul revolution, that things are changing for masses of people and that they are waking up, but I also afterwards read and listened to a few astrologists and was pretty much blown away with how much this was in sync with what they were saying. Astrologically, the forces are very strong for us to be shifting, and more light is coming through. So this is really good news for us, right? As soulfully aligned women already, the light, finding out that the light is coming through, that's super important for us because it gives us hope too. So if you are looking at, you know, starting something new, making a change in your life, um, moving towards what's in your heart, creating what's in your heart. What are the desires coming through? This is the year for you to do it. You will be fully supported in your moving forward as long as you're aligned with your heart. So as we prepare for more, I so want to just dive into this whole process of, well, how do we begin to manifest in 2022? How are the energies working with us? What do we need to do, and what is it that um, we need to become in order to hold all of our desires? um, that is going to be so much fun tomorrow night to talk about that. We have been chasing our tail around feeling worthy enough for our desires, and tomorrow night I'm going to talk to you about exactly how do we do that? How do we step into becoming the one that is able to hold it all? And I will tell you that one other message that came through for me recently in the 12 days of manifesting was that we haven't even begun to hold the or to bring through what we can, the energetic capacity of what we could already hold in our life energetically. So a lot of times we talk about, you expanding yourself enough to be able to hold the energy of your heart's desires. But the message that came through was like, you don't even need to do that. You already have a huge capacity and energetic capacity to hold all those desires. The problem is you're playing lower levels of that energetic capacity. You're just like right at the very bottom of what could possibly be filled up in your life. So that was super exciting to hear. Um, but when you sit down to list out your celebrations for the year, if you've done journaling through the year, that is extremely helpful. You can even use your Facebook memories to go back and see if you do a lot of posting on Facebook, that would help. But I sat down with my journal and I just want to show you a little bit, give you an example of how I went through, okay? And how I found all the celebrations through the year and the growth and the expansion. So last year, as I was coming into January, there's a very strong message that came through that we are a force together. That was what I kept hearing. We are a force together. That as humans, we needed to gather together to create and to create a soul-centered, sacred creative practice that would bring us support, that would allow us to circle up and circle the energy for strength. So we were growing our energy as a group. So the focus then was going to be for connection, for community, for gathering to build a strong energy. And that's when I brought through the Soulfully Aligned Creative Portal. Um, we gathered together through the whole year, twice per month, to remember our center. So in the Creative Portal, right, we had powerful messages that came through. So we were guided each month by a channeled message. So each month a channeled message came through that gave us our theme for the month. And we would have a meditation around that and conversations around that and journaling prompts around that. And 9 women walked this journey with me. And we also used the medicine wheel as our guide through the year, right? What came for me, my celebration from that, is that my channeling became much more fluid and clear at that time. I started to really get very powerful messages coming through for us. And that comes because the group energy, right, gathers. And this year, I also had a lot of new awarenesses and shifts around earning money, abundance, lack, scarcity. So, the Mystic Business and the Money Mastermind program were new this year, and they were epic for shifting me around earning, around abundance, and for all of us in it too. Um, we started to really examine our money mindset and bring through, more receiving. And then July brought Melanie Ann Layer into my life. She's the new mentor I have been learning from. And her message of for me, for you, for us became my mantra. And, I broke my arm in July. So even though that was a struggle, something that didn't turn out the way I wanted, something that was, not a good thing in my life, a lot of really good things came out of that. So as you go through and you do your celebrating, when you go through and you're listing down everything that happened, the bad stuff is going to come up too. And I want to make sure that you list that down too, but you're going to be pulling the gold out of it. So even though I broke my arm, which was not what I expected, it knocked me on my butt and it forced me to rest. And I was really, really burned out. And so that's something too we're going to talk about tomorrow night. How I've learned how to work now, work the energy, balance my energy so that I don't burn out anymore. Right. So that brought me to really leaning back and just be for a while. And I continued to like absorb her teachings, and I really dove into um, me, right? Growing and expanding and learning for me, which became a really powerful golden thread through the year that I will talk about too. So, September brought through messages of learning how to walk softly with your power. So, the message from a lot of these messages came through the creative portal, the Soulfully Aligned You creative portal group. It was extremely powerful, these messages, but the message came through for us to walk softly in our expanded power, because as we are becoming more powerful creators, that we are seeing things manifest for us, and I'm sure you have too, manifesting more quickly. We needed to make sure that we are walking in balance with our heart, and we are not allowing the ego. So here's the problem over the years is that when the power rose, it got like people would get lost in the power. The power would take over. They just their ego rose up into it, and they lost the connection to their heart. They lost that walking softly on the earth. And in September, we reviewed the White Buffalo Calf Woman story. That came through really strongly for us. And if you haven't read that story, I recommend that you read it. Um, but the channeling told us we would become so powerful in our manifesting, and we needed to be able to hold this power in sacred reverence. And this was the month when we said, when we come together and we gather, we remember the sacred reverence. And it was this group of 9 women and myself who said, we need a place to come together. We need a place to come together in this reverence. And we decided in our group energy that we actually needed a teepee so that we could have sacred gatherings together. That was the collective group energy. And look what the collective group energy did. Like it brought it through in 3 months. So that was September, right? And I walked into my yard and I committed to it and I declared it. Then October brought, oh, that was a big month for me, healing in many levels. Um, the portal in the portal we were guided to go deep into our hearts, to paint hearts, to listen to our hearts. It was a very strong message of being in your heart, and our mantra was, I am listening to the whispers of my heart. And then my heart cracked open when Honey Bear got hit by a truck and died. So this was the storm, but there is beauty in the storm, and there's the gold thread in there. Little did I know, that was going to happen, but it really opened me up to what came through after that. Because in November, wow, the Heart Awakening codes came through for all of us. That was the masterclass in November, right? And I also began to connect to the aperture beings, which I haven't really talked a lot about, but the messages were so clear that our heart was the gateway to manifesting in balance with the universe. So now it was time for me to start to teach about those feminine energetics. So this was also the month that I really jumped into more personal development work, right? And so the thread through all of that is the continued growth, the continual openness to learning and growing and expanding, and and the commitment to being together. So as I looked over the year and I sat down and I wrote all this stuff down, I realized that there was a lot of things happening in a very sequential order that I didn't realize was there until I went back and I looked at it. So as you go back over your year, you want to be pulling out the big significant events, things that helped you grow and learn and gain that wisdom and embody the teachings. What happened through your year? Because so often we get to the end of the year and we go, okay, that's a write-off year. That one's going away, and we start over in 2022. We don't want to start over. We want to be building in our life, building and growing, evolution and growth. We want to be building on the foundation of 2021. So this is a powerful, energetic shift for you. And it may sound like, yeah, I've heard everybody talk about this, but there is a quantum shift that happens within you when you can reflect and celebrate. And then we turn to look at 2022 and say, what are we visioning in now? Now, what are we growing? I mean, we have to keep stopping and looking at how far we've come. It's like, climbing a mountain. You get going up that mountain and you're looking up, and oh my gosh, it's so far to get to the top. It's so far away. Doesn't seem to be getting any closer. And when we stop and we look back and we see how far we've come, and we see some of that terrain was really hard. It was a struggle to get to this point. It gives us a renewed energy. It gives us a surge of energy to keep going forward, right? So that is what you need to do for tomorrow night. You need to sit down and you need to look at, what have I done this year? Where have I come from? How far have I come? Because this is a growth. It's a journey. Like they said, this is a beautiful journey. You're not done. You'll never be done. It's an evolution. And as we continue to grow and evolve, that's what creates the shifts in the world around us. So tonight is about You. It's all about you. Sink into that. Where are you? You don't, you can't go anywhere till you know where you are. Where are you at? Where's your energy at? This is beautiful. This is a beautiful process. Okay. Um, then tomorrow night, we can move forward. Then we can look at, okay, how do we soar with this energy at our back? What is it that the universe is saying to us through our hearts? What do I need next? What is the next step? Where is my next growth? So that is the message for tonight. And I'm just going to very quickly tell you for those that have been wondering about Women Who Gather is coming, and The Art of Becoming is coming in January. Now, both of these are monthly programs, like subscription programs. But I want you to know that I never hold you to any length of time. If you decide, like, okay, I've had enough at any time, you can cancel your subscriptions at any time. Okay. Just a little message to me, email or text or whatever. But the um, the new focus and the teachings in both of these groups is that we are a force, right? We are here to walk softly on the earth with our new manifesting power. This is the rise of the divine feminine power that we are going to learn so much more about as we walk through this next year. We're going to learn to walk with that divine power. We're going to become the woman who we can trust, the woman who you can trust. You become the woman who you can trust, who feels worthy of all she wants to create. Becoming worthy is not as hard as you think. It's not as hard as you think. And also for you, as you want to create and stay, you want to stay in your awakened heart, to learn how to walk with integrity and the aligned heart power. That is the focus for these groups, right? Um, I wanted to say, oh, I forgot to say before I move on, that as you list out your struggles, right, and you look at, well, what didn't work for me, those ones pop up very quickly, like things like, oh, I broke my arm. Well, that's, and my summer was not what I expected. It was not a good summer in so many different ways for me. But what was the gold in that struggle, right? And that was the gold in that one was when I really had to start to work on for me first, because I had been giving, 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 and we do that so much. We give until we burn out. And then when Honey Bear died, like I said, the gold was the heart awakening codes, right? And I truly embodied the teachings that I was learning. I truly sank into my heart. So that will become your foundation. A soul revolution requires that we look at where we are now and then look forward. So we don't try to wipe anything out. We just find the gold. So the art of becoming is like the new expanded version of the soulfully aligned creative portal. Last year, as we walked through those 12 months together, we met twice through the month. First at the beginning of the month as we set the theme and received, journal prompts to work on through the month, and the second one was our shamanic painting. But this time, we will be getting the channeled messages that will set our theme, and we will meet 4 times through the month. So we will meet on Mondays, and we will do you will have the journal prompts and the art journal prompts and things to think about from the channeled message that we get the first meeting, but we will also then meet and talk about them and maybe do some together, and then we will also meet for our shamanic painting. So there's a really close connection The one thing through last year I felt like it was that we didn't meet enough. We didn't, that energy kind of drifted away at times. So I felt like we really need to circle up a little bit more. So in this group, in the art of becoming, it is going to be much stronger connected energy. Um, and the shamanic paintings are absolutely a beautiful way to put energy into the creative flow, right? Um, there's going to be, this is really the big program. This is the big one that's for you if you're feeling like, okay, I am so done with feeling unworthy. I am going to step into my worthiness. That is our focus through the year, is feeling worthy, believing in ourselves, and opening up to all of the things that we want to create. So it really is for the woman that wants to really step in and step up and go deep, right? And rise up to your next level and become a much more powerful manifester and become the leader for the women around you, right? So as you come into that in the art of becoming, it is fluid because as the energy grows and moves in our groups each month, the energy comes through which is most powerful for us at that time, the messages at that time. You also are already in, you get when women gather, that's included. So when women gather is a smaller program. It is also subscription, so month by month, you can come when you want. You can leave when you want, but when women gather is the first 3 Wednesdays of every month, we will gather together online. We will meditate. You will get a guided meditation. We will bring through any messages for you. You will get messages. So this one is about increasing your intuition, increasing the connection that you have with your guides and angels, that you'll be having quantum leaps in your energy. You will be opening up more to messages coming through to you because of the consistency of the gatherings. This makes a huge difference. So this is like the mystic path, where one foot is in that spiritual realm and one foot is in the human path. So you learn how to walk with your energy in both ways, in both dimensions, I should say, right? So the art of becoming is for the woman that is like, yes, I want to create more. I am so tired of setting goals and not getting there. The art of becoming is becoming the divine feminine, becoming the strong woman who is clear in what she wants, who knows what she wants, and is not afraid to go forward. It helps you create boundaries, it helps you take up your space. And then the women who gather is the let's just gather 3 times a month. Let's bring our energy together. Let's calibrate our energy together so that we can rise up. So that one is a subscription also. So I should tell you that the When Women Gather is $88 a month, and the art of becoming is 222 per month, and it includes When Women Gather. And there is a full payment that you can make if you're like, oh, I'm going to commit for the whole year, and it's 2,222. So you're saving 2 months worth of payments in that if you decide you want to do that. So that is, I can't express enough the power of coming together with whichever program you decide. But in the art of becoming, I am walking the path of the divine feminine energy. I am growing and calibrating to that, and that is coming in powerfully. And if you want to walk with me, if you want to calibrate with me and keep going, my life has shifted so much since I started this path, since I started um, really slowing down and working with this energy rather than trying to um, create, right? And forcefully everything is flowing in. I mean, you saw how that TB came through. That is the power of the energy of the group, right? The energy of a group of women that are connected, that have a vision of creating purposefully in their life. This is what is needed in our world. Women need to continually gather in groups, even if it's all over the world in small groups. I mean, we can even go that way if you are not nearby. If you are somebody that is um, too far to come to any of the TP gatherings that we will be having next year, then we can talk about how do you create your own group? How do you get a group going of women where you can start to create this powerful manifesting energy that comes through our heart and that will ripple out and create changes in the world? It is it is a beautiful thing. It truly is. So, just to let you know, too, the women who gather will not be recorded. That is going to be very much like when I was taking my shamanic training, myself and my friend Kimberly, we would drive about 45 minutes, 50 minutes every Wednesday night, just happened to be a Wednesday night, um, to go to our group where we would sit in a group and we would meditate and we would receive messages. We would be taken on a guided meditation journey. We sank into our